Hey, I'm Darna Noor, and we really need your help to make real news, so donate at the link right there.
Welcome to the Real News Network. I'm Shir Heather in Heidelberg, Germany. Gideon Levy is one of Israel's most renowned journalists, but also one of the most controversial. In 2014, after publishing a piece in the Haaretz newspaper criticizing Israeli pilots for bombarding civilian neighborhoods in the Gaza Strip, he was assigned a bodyguard because of the numerous death threats which he received. And this week, Gideon Levy has once again caused an uproar in Israel when he published in Haaretz a piece with the title, "I Feel No Sympathy for the Settlers." Levy argued that Israeli colonists in the West Bank are instrumentalizing Palestinian resistance and use every murdered colonist as an excuse to expand land appropriation from Palestinians. Indeed, on Sunday, the Israeli Minister of Education, Naftali Bennett, did just that.
אנחנו היום מעלים חוק להסדרת ההתיישבות שקראנו לו חוק מרקם חיים.
We are raising today a bill to regulate the colonization, which we call the Law of Fabric of Life, because the residents of Judea and Samaria are not second-rate citizens. As in the dawn of Zionism, whenever there is terror, we have to build. We will achieve peace with the neighbors. How? When they will despair of the hope to get out of this country. And how? When we build more settlements, more schools, more kindergartens.
Fierce responses to Levy's article were not late to follow, including calls on the Haaretz newspaper to fire him. We are joined by Gideon Levy now, so we can discuss this article. Gideon Levy is a prominent Israeli journalist and author of the weekly column The Twilight Zone in the Israeli paper Haaretz. He's also an editorial board member of Haaretz. Thank you very much, Gideon, for joining us.
Thank you, Shir. It's my pleasure.
Honestly, when I read your article, I also felt uneasy. There are extreme right and violent organizations which promote the colonization of Palestine, but not everyone born in an Israeli illegal colony should have their lives forfeit because of the crimes of the State of Israel. Did you not write this article in order to cause a provocation?
No, not at all. And I wouldn't write it if the settlers themselves and their leadership wouldn't behave in such a cynical way. You know, hours after the attack on this pregnant woman, hours after it, immediately they took some caravans and with their leadership, not just, young people from the margins, but with their leadership, the official leadership, and brought it to what's called illegal outpost, which was already evacuated, declaring that this is their answer for the terroristic attack. If they are using pain and tragedy, human tragedy and bloodshed in such a cynical way for their real estate ambitions and interests, I have the right to tell them, if this is your behavior, I have no sympathy to you.
I think my problem is when you say they, as if all of the colonists in the West Bank are one unit. The attack on this pregnant woman that you're talking about, she has actually survived, but her baby did not. And the baby, never had a political opinion and never made a choice. Certainly the baby is not at fault of building these caravans. In a way, aren't you actually helping the colonists with this kind of argument as if all of the colonists are just one unit and murdering a colonist is a political act which can justify in their own eyes the land appropriation and dispossessing of Palestinians?
Look, first of all, if you take it to this resolution, then it's needless to say that no baby in the world deserves to be killed. I mean, that's not a question at all. Even if he has political views, even he's responsible or not, nobody should be a victim of murders, of killings, and for sure not innocent babies, helpless babies. This goes without saying. But yes, we can generalize the settlers. Like, by the way, I think we can generalize the Israelis. Because as all of us Israelis carry responsibility for the occupation project, for the apartheid system, because we all are part of this machinery, even if we individually oppose it, but finally we are part of it. I always say, I'm a settler, I'm part of this project. Even though I dedicated my life to fight against them, I'm still part of it, and I cannot break away from responsibility. With the settlers, it's much more than this, because it's not only about political views, it's not only about talkings, it's about their existence there. Once you go and live in an occupied territory, which contradicts the international law, once you do it, once you continue to do it, you define yourself politically, morally, and legally. And you take a very terrible role by sitting there. So yes, all of them violate the international law, all of them, and all of them should be due to criticism.
Well, let's take this idea of generalization perhaps even further. The Israeli government made several statements in the last few days that they believe that confiscating more land every time there is a Palestinian attack will deter Palestinians from resisting the occupation. But what will happen if this logic would be universally accepted as a kind of medieval justice system? But then also, whenever a Palestinian is killed by Israeli forces, Palestinians would receive some of their land back. What would you say to this kind of double sympathy logic as opposed to the no sympathy in your article?
First of all, you portray a theoretical picture of equality, and there is no equality between Israel and Palestine, as you know. So this cannot happen, not only because it's far-fetched from both sides, because nothing is equal and there is no symmetry. Wherever you touch it, there is no symmetry about anything, by the way. Now, getting back to what you said, the fact that Israel and the settlers are claiming that this is the Zionistic response to terrorism, mainly the revenge for terrorism will be new settlements, this has some positive aspects, because it's the first time the settlers admit that their project is a punishment and has nothing to do with the security of Israel, has nothing to do with your political or religious belief. Finally, it's a mean to punish the Palestinians and to take revenge over them. Okay, that's quite a progressive step, because once we realize that it's all about paining more the Palestinians, taking revenge more, and tyrannizing more, so it's much easier to oppose this project.
Well, that's a very good point to end our conversation. Thank you very much, Gideon, for joining us.
Thank you, Shir.
And thank you for joining us on the Real News Network.
Hi, I'm Tracy Beal, the marketing director here at the Real News Network, and there's still time left in our end of the year fundraiser for you to donate. Donate now.